It was supposed to be a standard panel discussion, just another day in Washington, where elected officials spar with words and walk away smiling. But what happened on live TV between Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett and Representative Nancy Mace was anything but ordinary. As the cameras rolled, tensions mounted fast. Crockett, armed with notes and citations, leaned into accusations that Mace had misused her influence, and what followed left audiences stunned. Not only was it fiery, it was raw, revealing, and nearly impossible to look away from. The panel began with a typical exchange over ethics reform, until Crockett calmly said, "Before we keep preaching accountability, maybe Nancy would like to explain that PAC donation routed through a shell group." Mace's expression shifted instantly. "Excuse me," she said sharply, but Crockett wasn't bluffing. She held up a folder with transaction logs and committee reports. "These aren't rumors, they're filings, public record," she continued. The host tried to pivot, but it was too late. Crockett had already opened Pandora's box on live television. Mace fired back, calling the documents selectively edited garbage, and accused Crockett of pulling a stunt. But the damage was done. "You want transparency," Crockett said, voice firm. "Let's talk about the luxury retreat you build under community engagement." The audience gasped. Mace visibly tensed. "I don't need a lecture from someone who grandstands for social media likes," she snapped. Crockett replied, "And I don't need lies wrapped in fake smiles." That line alone went viral within minutes. As the exchange escalated, the host pleaded with both to cool it, but Crockett remained calm, while Mace became increasingly defensive. "This is character assassination," Mace insisted, but Crockett refused to let up. "No, this is accountability. You can't run on ethics and act like the rules don't apply to you." Mace leaned forward and said, "You're out of line." Crockett didn't flinch. "No, I'm just reading the lines from your own records." The split-screen tension had viewers glued to their screens. At one point, Mace stood up and threw her mic on the table, visibly shaken. "This is a hit job," she yelled, but Crockett simply leaned back and crossed her arms. "Or maybe it's just the truth catching up to you," she said quietly. Producers rushed to cut to commercial, but that image, Mace red-faced and Crockett unmoved, was already seared into the minds of millions. It was clear something had broken in the room, and it wasn't just decorum. When the show returned, Mace was gone. The host tried to patch things together, but the panel had already spiraled into something larger. Crockett didn't gloat. Instead, she offered a sober reflection. "We can't fix corruption by pretending it's not there. I came here with facts. That's it." Viewers flooded the network with reactions, some praising Crockett for being bold, others defending Mace and calling it a setup. But even the loudest critics couldn't ignore that the confrontation was based on receipts. Later that evening, Mace's office issued a brief statement condemning the segment and accusing the network of amplifying baseless slander. But fact-checkers jumped in quickly. Several watchdog groups verified Crockett's references were legitimate, drawn from public financial disclosures. The press pounced. Headlines exploded. What started as a political conversation had turned into a possible scandal with legs, and Crockett, whether you loved her or not, had clearly struck a powerful chord. Within 24 hours, ethics committees were asked to review Mace's filings. Activist groups called for transparency. Talk shows replayed the clip again and again. Mace supporters called it a smear campaign, but others pointed out that no one had refuted the documents themselves. Meanwhile, Crockett held a press conference, stating, "This isn't personal, it's about public service and integrity. We owe people the truth, not spin." Her words echoed across media platforms, resonating far beyond party lines. As the political dust settled, one truth became unavoidable. Crockett had shifted the balance of power. at least in that moment. While Mace had long presented herself as a reformer, the confrontation painted a much different picture. It reminded viewers that beneath the slogans and speeches, accountability still matters. Crockett's performance wasn't just passionate, it was precise. And it forced a national conversation that Mace couldn't walk away from, no matter how many microphones she dropped. In the end, the live TV clash between Nancy Mace and Jasmine Crockett wasn't just about one scandal. It was about calling out hypocrisy in real time. Crockett's boldness sent shockwaves through Washington and showed how prepared leadership can dismantle well-crafted facades. As for Mace, the fallout was only beginning. Whether investigations follow or not, the moment exposed more than campaign slogans. It showed that when truth hits hard enough, even the loudest voices can go silent.